Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I know it's been quite some time since I last filmed a video, but I am back. I'm so happy to be back. I was waiting kind of just because I was still getting settled in and getting my beauty room settled and put together. It's still not completed, but I did get it good enough so that I can go ahead and film a video for you guys. And I did want to start off the new year, having a consistent schedule with posting. So I figured this would be a good time to start filming again since the new year is coming, and I just kind of wanted to get back into a rhythm of it. But today, for today's video, I'm actually going to be doing just a get ready with me. This is what I've been doing pretty much every day to like get ready, just a simple makeup for a simple day. So if you're interested in seeing this video, then just keep watching. So I'm just gonna clip back my hair. If you guys haven't obviously seen it, but I had cut my hair a while ago. If you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen it. My hair was a lot shorter, but it's actually gotten a lot longer now ever since I cut it. So I'm just gonna pin this back so it's not in the way. I kind of semi-did it. I kind of did like a messy, like wavy look to it today because I didn't feel like having it completely straight. But I'm gonna start off with a primer. Let's see what primer. So because I've been breaking out a lot lately, as you guys can see, like I have some scarring and some breakouts that I have on my face. I have been using the Master Prime by Maybelline. This one's the Blur and Redness Control. I start off with this just because it really does help with getting rid of all the red spots that I have going on my face. So I just pretty much like softly go over. Mainly I put this in the areas where I have redness, just because then I will go over with another primer. So I just pretty much just use this in the areas where I have those spots, and I just apply this super gently. I don't want to irritate my face at all, so it's mostly around my cheek area. I don't know why. I'm actually considering going to a dermatologist because it's just been so consistent in the areas where I keep getting these breakouts, and a lot of them are not even like pimples. They're just like pimples within like my face. I don't know if it's like bacteria that's building up inside of my skin, or they're like mini blackheads, but it's really strange. It's really hard to describe what it is. Also, before I forget, because I didn't mention, I did already do my eyebrows off camera, and I have some lipstick on just because I did mix. My lips have been very dry, so I mixed a chapstick with another lip gloss and a lipstick just so that my lips wouldn't be so dry. So I do have that on, which I will go over after again at the end once I'm done doing my makeup. Just because I just did that for now since my lips were so dry and I didn't want to come on here with super chapped lips. So that was the Redness Control primer. So now I'm going to go in with the Smashbox Photo Finish Foundation Primer. And this one I'm going to apply mostly on my forehead, the bridge of my nose a little bit, and underneath my eyes. But not so much underneath my eyes because I am going to go over underneath my eyes with another primer. So mostly focusing this like on my cheekbones and my forehead. I really have not been wearing that much makeup lately. I usually only wear makeup on the weekends. During the week I rarely wear makeup unless I'm going out like for dinner or something at nighttime. But pretty much during the week you will rarely catch me wearing makeup, just because I try not to wear so much makeup since my face is so inconsistent with the way it's been acting towards things. So yeah, now I'm gonna go in with the Smashbox Photo Finish Hydrating Under Eye Primer, and these are just little samples that I have that I started using because I wanted to try it before I committed to purchasing the full size. And I really like the under eye primer a lot. It feels really nice. And I just apply this as gentle as I can because I tend to be really rough with my hands. So this really, it helps. And it's nice and creamy. It's really soft. I actually feel like I applied more on one eye than I did on the other. So I'm going to go on this eye and apply a little bit more. But it feels really nice. It feels really cooling also underneath my eyes. So it just gives it a really nice feeling. I don't know why I just added more in the other eye, but it just feels really nice. Alright, so that's done. I'm going to start off with my eye makeup first just because I always tend to make a mess, let's be honest, with my eyes. So I like to be done with my eyes first, and then that way I can clean it up with concealer, or I can clean it up with my foundation, things like that. So it makes it a lot easier, honestly. And I'm just spraying some of my, you guys have known I've been using this for years already. I've talked about this a long time ago on my channel. It's the Sage, or I still haven't been able to pronounce this, Sage Daily Cosmetic Brush Cleaner. I get this at Bath & Body Works. Not Bath & Body Works. I get this at Bed Bath & Beyond, and this is biodegradable, which is what I really like. And honestly, I just really like how it cleans my brushes. And it's dry immediately after I'm done cleaning it, so it's perfect for immediate use. And also, it does last me a really long time because it's such a big bottle. It's 8 fluid ounces. I've had that bottle for, I want to say, a little over 6 months now. So it really does last a really long time, which is what I like. So it's not something I have to constantly keep repurchasing. I did try the Sonia Kashuk one once, and that one finished in like 2 months. And it was so expensive, and this one's a lot cheaper. I believe this one's about $6. I know it's less than $10. I don't remember how much, just because, again, like I haven't purchased it in a really long time. But I'm just cleaning the brushes that I'm going to be using, and I do this pretty much every single time I'm gonna do my makeup, just because I don't want, built up bacteria from previous like eyeshadow uses, or even just I don't want colors that I've used before showing up on the colors that I'm going to be using now, because they may not be the same colors, even though I have lately been using the same colors. And I'll show you guys now what colors I've been using lately, just because it's been very neutral as far as what I do on my eyes. But let's get started on that. And then the palette that I'm going to be using today is the Tartelette Toasted palette, and I have not yet used this, so this is actually going to be the first time I use this. This was a gift for my birthday, and it has a huge mirror, which is what I really love about it. But these colors are so beautiful. They have some really nice neutral browns, like some orangey tones. I really like the warm tones that this palette has, and this is the type of colors that I've been using pretty much all fall. I just really love colors like this one right here, which is called Warmth. It's like that orangey, like more of an orangey brownish tone. I love that to like start off applying this into my crease. So I'm going to go in with that first. And I'm going to use my Sigma Tapered Blending Brush in E35. You guys know I've been using these brushes for a long time as well. And I'm just going to blend that right into my crease. And again, what I really like about this palette, which is what caught my attention, I was between asking for this one for my birthday or the Naked, what's it called, the Naked Heat palette, and I went with this one only because of the size of the mirror. I feel like this would be perfect this would be a perfect palette like if I wanted to travel somewhere and I wanted something with a large mirror but that had the warm colors that I'm into. I thought this was the perfect palette for that, so I went with getting this one instead, or asking for this one instead. But I'm loving this color right now. It blends super easy. It's super warm. So I'm just applying a little bit more of this color on the outer crease of my eyes, just so that I can start the transition color that I'm going to add into this color. But I just want a heavier outer corner. So I'm gonna do this first, and then I'm going to start going in with this deeper color, which is called Cozy. It's like a darker, I want to say this is like more of a mauve color, which is really nice also. And I'm going to start applying this on the outer corner of my eyes and just blending that inward. I'm avoiding my eyelid for now just because I am going to go in with a different color on my eyelid. I'm not at all doing this perfect by any means. Like I mentioned before, I do clean up any mess that I make once I'm done doing my eyes by, concealing, and I use concealer for correcting anything I do that I do not like. This is just the way I do my makeup as well. It's not, you gotta do what works for you, and this is what works for me. And also there's another method that I like, which is using tape also. That really works well. I don't have tape right now, so this is the way I do it when I don't have tape. But this works just as well. And now I'm going to go to my eyelid, don't know what color I want to use for my eyelid, but I'm going to put down a matte shade first and then put something that has a little bit more glitter on it. So I'm going to just use this color. It's down here. It's called Latte. It's just like a very light brown, like a beige. And I'm just going to use this just to lay it on top, kind of like as a primer to my to the color that I'm going to put on top, which I just realized I did not put on any eyeshadow primer, and I was going to use my MAC Painterly Paint Pot, but I usually don't put on primer, to be honest. I rarely ever put on eyeshadow primer just because I don't really have a creasing issue with my eyelids. It's more of a precaution kind of thing, so I'm not too worried about not having put down any eyeshadow primer first. But if you're the type of person that has to put on eyeshadow primer, that's completely understandable. Do that before you do this if you are going to do it, but this is just what works for me. So then now I'm going to grab this brush, and by the way, the other brush that I've been using for my eyelid is the Sigma Blending E25 brush. I'm going to go in now with the Sigma Medium Angled Shading Brush in E70, and this is what I'm going to use to apply any sparkling colors on my eyelid. I'm going to go with this color. It's called Candle here down at the bottom, and I'm just going to apply this right. I'm going to apply very lightly because I don't want, honestly, a lot of shimmer on my eyes. The only place I will be applying some shimmer will be the inner tear ducts of my eyes, but not really so much on the eyelid. This is just so that it kind of blends the eyelid together with the crease color. So honestly, now that I'm looking at this, this is even heavier. Like, these colors are even heavier than what I've been using lately, but it's fine. It's still the warm tones that I've been using, but I really like it. I really like how it's coming out. And these colors are amazingly, like, surprisingly blendable. I don't think I've ever used Tarte eyeshadow now that I think about it. So I'm really liking how easy it is to blend these colors out. It's probably one of the easiest palettes that I've had that is so easy to blend the colors out like this. I'm just going to go in with a clean blending brush. This is the E40, and I'm just going to blend everything in just to make sure there's not any harsh lines. I'm really liking how easy it is to blend these eyeshadows. This is pretty amazing, I'm not gonna lie. So for my brow bone, I think, where's my brow? So I like to use this brush. This is the small tapered E45 brush from Sigma as well. And this has been my favorite brush for a really long time for to put anything on my brow bone as far as like a highlight color. So I'm going to go in, honestly, I kind of want to use something matte, so I'm going to go in with this color. It's called S'more in the palette, this top one here. I go very lightly underneath my brow bone. I'm just going to apply that there. So that's all I pretty much do for my eyes as far as eyeshadow. I am going to start my foundation, and actually I'm going to actually do some concealing first. So for concealer, I am going to use my Fit Me from Maybelline, and this one's in the color Light. You guys know I love this. This is one of my staples in my collection. It's one of my favorite concealers. So I'm just going to use that to clean this up first. And also just to cover up anything that's underneath my eyes that I may want to cover up before I put on foundation. That way it gives me more of a coverage. I'm going to use this sponge. I forgot what brand this sponge is from, but it's really good, and it's from the drugstore. I got this at, I want to say, either Target or Walmart. Actually, no, I got it at Target, and I forgot what brand this is, but it's a really good sponge. I actually really, really like it. And honestly, I really appreciate that the drugstore has come out with so many amazing blending sponges, because buying the beauty blender gets expensive. I mean, 20 bucks for a sponge. It's not my favorite way to spend 20 bucks, honestly. Like, that's what I paid to get my eyebrows done, and I would rather spend it on getting my eyebrows done than paying for a sponge. So I'm really happy that the drugstore has expanded their blending or beauty blender, whatever you want to call it, their beauty sponges, because this one, what I really like about it is the fact that before, all the sponges at the drugstore would soak up so much product, and you'd waste so much of it, and now it's like you're not wasting anything, which is really nice. So this is one of my favorite sponges, and I'll show you guys the one that I've also been loving also, which that one I do know where it's from. So for foundation, I'm going to use the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation, and I have very mixed feelings over this foundation because the first, I want to say 2 times that I used it, throughout the day it kind of caked up and you could kind of see it on my face, and as I've kind of given it more and more of a chance, and I think what was happening was I was using the buff beige. I bought 2 colors because I wasn't sure which color would work best for me. The one that I started using that I gave it a chance was the buff, and this one started caking up on me for some reason. I don't know why, but throughout the day it was just so noticeable on my skin. You can really tell this foundation was kind of like breaking up on my face, and I immediately started hating it. And then I had also bought the soft beige, which I hadn't tried because that one had already given me such a bad feel for it that I just didn't even try this one. So the other day recently, I think about a week or 2 ago, I decided to just give this one a try because maybe that one was just a bad batch or something. And this one does not cake up on my face and actually is really nice on my skin. So it was just really different. So I think that one might just be because it's from a bad batch. The bright side to this foundation is that it's only $4, which is amazing. So that's why I bought both to try it out. But this one, which is in the color soft beige, actually works really nice on my skin, and it doesn't do that breakup where it looks cakey on my face. The sponge that I'm going to be using, this one's from L'Oreal. This is such an amazing sponge. I cannot tell you guys how much I love this sponge. It's been my favorite. It's definitely one that I'll repurchase. It's so soft, and again, it doesn't soak up so much product. It's just such an amazing sponge. I absolutely love this one. And it's only like, I know it's less than $10. I think I spent maybe $6 or $7 on it. So definitely worth buying it if you don't want to spend $20 on a beauty blender. I think it's great. So what I like to do is I like to call it the butt because it has a pointy part and the butt. So I like to use the butt of the sponge, and I put my foundation on my arm, and then I just blend that out on one half of my face first, and then I will go into the other half. And what I use the point for is I will use the point to use my foundation, dip it, and go underneath my eyes, just so that I don't, because the butt is honestly so large. Oh, the butt is large. Anyways, but yeah, I really like this foundation. It's actually really nice, and for the price, you really can't go wrong. It does give me a nice coverage. I mean, for me, the way it has worked as a full coverage foundation is because I put the concealer underneath. I have not tried this foundation without the concealer underneath, honestly. So I don't know what it would look like if I didn't put the concealer underneath. That is something I will try, actually. And if you guys want to know how it goes, I will definitely let you guys know. Now I'm just like using the tip also to go around underneath my nose and like in those little corners that you kind of like are kind of hard to get into. And I'm just going to put a little bit of foundation on my arm again, on my hand, and I'm just going to use it for my forehead. What I like to do after I'm done putting my foundation, I just like continue dabbing, like really pressing the foundation into my skin with the sponge, just to make sure that it's completely like set and it's really, you know, on my skin nicely, and it dries up a little bit before I go in with anything else, and just to make sure that I really cover up everything that I want covered up, just any marks, any scarring from any pimples, things like that. So I just really press this into my skin, and I do blend whatever's left over down my neck. I don't like to apply more foundation onto my neck just because it gets all over my clothes and stuff, and I really don't like that. And if I hug people, it just gets all over them, so I prefer not to. And I try to, with my foundation, I try to get as close as I can to the color of my skin, like on my neck and stuff, so that way I don't have to purchase a foundation that I need to blend down my neck. So now that I'm done with that, I'm going to conceal underneath my eyes. I'm going to be using my CoverGirl one, just because this one has a little bit of a highlight to it. So what I like to do is I like to put a couple dots underneath my eyes, Then I put a little bit on my nose and on my chin, and then what I'll do is I'll apply a little bit here on the top of my eyebrow. And then what I'll use, I have these smaller sponges from, I think I got these at Ulta. This one's really dirty actually, so I'm not going to use that one. I'm going to use my black one, my black sponge, and I'm just going to blend that right into my skin. And what I like to do is I like to pinch it so that I don't mess up my brows. I like to pinch the tip of it just so that I can really get it in there. And then just blend the bottom as I normally would. And since I already applied concealer underneath, I don't go excessive with the concealer that I apply on top after like my foundation and stuff, just because I don't need to conceal that much, and I don't like to do too heavy of like layers of makeup on my face. So I just try to do it as light as I possibly can without applying too much, if that makes sense, you know? And then like I said, I continue just to like blend this out a little bit just so that it really sets into my skin, and like I'm really pushing this in. And then once I'm done with that, I'm going to use setting powder. The setting powder that I've been using is the NYC Smooth Skin Loose Face Powder, and I love this one. A lot of people compare it to the Laura Mercier setting powder, which I have not tried. And I know it's crazy because everyone seems to love that powder, and I really do need to hop on the bandwagon and really try it out. I love using this brush, which I'm going to clean before I show you guys. I've been using this brush forever for setting powder just because it's perfect to really fit underneath my eyes. I feel like all of us have like certain brushes that you use for certain things because it fits perfect with your face shape, and this is just one of those brushes for me. This is the Real Techniques contour brush, and I love this for underneath my eyes because, again, like I said, it really fits perfect there. So I just dip it into the powder, and like I just try to take off as much as I can because I don't want it to get into my eyes, and I don't want too much powder on my face either. So I just use this right underneath my eyes, and then I'll show you guys what I do with the brush after I'm done applying the product underneath my eyes. So then once I'm done applying pretty much what's on my brush, I just apply this around my face. Just set anything that might need some setting. So now that I am done setting my face, I'm going to go in with some bronzer and bronze up my face. The bronzer that I've been using is the Bahama Mama from The Balm Cosmetics, and this is something that's like an oldie, I want to say. It's an oldie on YouTube, but it's something I recently picked up, and it's my first time that I've been using it. Not my first time today using it, but it's my, it's recent to me, it's new to me. So this product, the only thing with it, it's really dusty and really powdery, so I try not to apply too much, and like I try to shake off as much as I can off the brush before I apply it onto my face, just because I don't really like to do a deep contour or anything like that. I just like to bronze up my face enough for me to have a nice bronzy glowy look. So I'm just going to go ahead and apply that on my cheeks. And I'm using the Sigma Large Angled Contour Brush. This is the F40. And you see how like deep bronze that is? It's like a really deep brown. So I try not to get too crazy with using this because it's really dusty, and for me it's like one of those things that's it's also really hard to blend out. But I really like the color. I like the payoff that it has. So it's nice. Alright, so then what I like to do is whatever's left over on my brush is what I put underneath my chin, and I blend some of it down to my neck just so that it gives it an even contour around my face. And this is just what works for me. I know, some people like to apply more bronzer onto their necks and stuff, I just use whatever's left over on my brushes. That's just what I like. That looks good on me. That I feel looks good on me. So that's that. And then now I'm gonna go in with blush. And the blush that I've been loving, I have been loving going towards like more of the berry, more deep, like deep berry, or I want to say like purples, or just deep like wine colors, like a dark. And I know it sounds crazy because you're like, why would you apply such a dark blush? But I just have been loving like colors like this. And this one's the Rose d'Oro from Milani. I've been loving this blush, and even though it does look dark, if you apply it with a light hand, it looks so gorgeous. Just gonna clean my blush brush before I do that. Last time I used my blush brush, I forgot to clean it, and whatever blush I had on there before is what pretty much applied on my cheeks. So we're not gonna let that happen again today, are we? Nope. So now that I did that, I'm just gonna lightly dab it onto the brush, just enough so that I can apply it, and then I'm just gonna lightly take some of it off and then apply it right on my cheeks. And then what I like to do is I like to use my stippling brush. This is my Dual Fiber Sigma F50 brush, and I like to use this to blend everything out on my face so that nothing looks harsh and everything looks, nicely blended. So I typically will not put on any eyeliner, like liquid liners, on my eyelids, just because I suck. Let's just put it like this. I suck at doing a wing liner, and I have not given up on trying to do one, but I just, honestly, I don't usually put on any eyeliner on my eyelids, like on the top. What I will do is I will put a eyeliner on my waterline, and I will smudge that out. So that's just the look that I've been loving. And the eyeliner that I'm using is the CoverGirl Perfect Point Plus, and this one is in Onyx, Black Onyx, which is a really nice black. And I will just lightly apply this on my waterline, and then I will smudge it out. It does come with a smudger at the end, which is really nice. And I don't go all the way to the corners of my eyes. I just apply this towards the center, and then what I'll do is with the smudger is what I will blend it out with, but I don't like putting this color on the corners. Like, I don't go all the way to the inner tear duct of my eyes. I just blend that with the smudger. So it just gives it a nice like smoky look underneath your eyes. And then that's not it. What I also go ahead and do is I'll go back with the eyeshadow palette that I was using, and I will just go in with a pencil brush. This one is the Pencil E30 from Sigma as well. All my brushes are pretty much Sigma, the ones that I've used, and I've been using these for years, and they've lasted me a really long time, so they're still alive, which I love. And I'm just going to go ahead and use this Cozy color in the palette, which is this like mauve-y, darker, deep brown, and I'm going to smudge that underneath my eyes with the eyeliner. And that is pretty much what I do on my eyes. And now I'm going to move on to mascara. And I have been obsessed with this mascara. I think I had mentioned this before, the Maybelline Mega Plush Volume Express. But I'm not going to use that one right now. I'm going to go in first with the Voluminous Lash Paradise from L'Oreal. I'm going to apply this first onto my lashes. And then if I feel like I need more volume, then I will go in with the other mascara. But this one should do. The only issue I have with this mascara is the fact that it doesn't comb out my brushes. I mean, it doesn't comb out my brushes. It doesn't comb out my lashes. So, like, it doesn't separate them very well. It, like, clumps them up together. Then I'm just going to go to my other eye. Do the same thing. This mascara really makes me, like, work at separating my lashes, which is the only thing I don't like. But it really does give it a nice full look, which is what I really like about it, which is obviously the important part because that's what we want. We want our lashes to look really nice and full, but, you know, L'Oreal can make it a little easier for me to separate them, that would be nice. Not complaining, but you know. So then now I'm going to go in with my L'Oreal Telescopic and Carbon Black. You guys know this is a forever favorite, and the reason why I love this is because the brush on this is so thin, I won't make a mess on my lower lashes, because if I use anything bigger than this, Lord knows I will make a mess all over underneath my eyes. Alright, and that is pretty much it. At this point, I would typically add highlight to my face, but I'm actually going to do a review on a highlight that I have, and so I'm not going to be applying highlight right now because I'm actually going to film that video right now for you guys. But that is pretty much it. That is what I have been doing if I do my makeup. This is what I've been doing on a daily basis. Not really on a daily basis, but like on a weekend basis. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe and catch me on my next video. My new schedule will be Tuesdays and Thursdays, so you guys can catch me on those days I will be posting videos. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.